3-point plan says this. He says it's time to bail on zone runs. Phil says the Patriots need to throw more on first down. They should not be afraid to go the college route. Let's get more into it. We kind of dabbled in this yesterday, Tommy, Curran, and Phil Perry, but let's go point by point. And we start with point number 1. Phil Perry abandoned the zone run, back to gap runs. Why?
Because they ain't working, Trenni. Let's just put it plain and simple. They ain't working. 3.5 yards per attempt on inside and outside zone runs this year. They are among the league leaders in zone run usage. Again, that's inside and outside zone. They're 6th in the league using those types of plays. And among teams that have only played in 9 games, Tom, they're actually 2nd. They're only behind the Eagles. So they use them all the time, and they're not real efficient. They also get hit at or behind the line of scrimmage, dropped at or behind the line of scrimmage on over 22% of those plays. That's not a good number. That's the 3rd highest in football.
Of course, when you're thinking zone runs, the reason you're getting hit behind the line of scrimmage more frequently is you're running parallel to the line of scrimmage for a period of time. The Patriots are equipped with players like Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson, who are straight ahead, bell cow, 230-pound type runners, and it's exactly what the Patriots experienced, not just last year when they tried to run wide, but also when they called on it in 2018 on their way to a Super Bowl. They said, okay, we can't run wide. Let's go where we have strength.
And those gap runs, Trenni, that they would be pivoting more to, they're great at those this year. They average just over 6 yards per carry. That's 1st in the league on those types of runs, so it makes sense to me.
Okay, so then explain point number 2 to me. If they're good at gap runs and they're running the ball well there, and you'd argue maybe that their best offensive player has been Ramondre Stevens, your point number 2 is stop running on first down. So why, Phil, stop running on first down if that's what you do best?
Well, hey, maybe those gap runs would work well on first down, but what they've done on first down this year has not been very good. Almost half of their first down runs, the ball carrier is hit at or behind the line of scrimmage. Almost half. That's the 2nd worst rate in football behind only the Browns, who are incredibly run heavy, especially with Jacoby Brissett back there playing quarterback. So that's a number, Tom, that to me indicates they're very predictable. Everybody knows they want to run on first down. They're actually 29th in the league, so near the bottom of the league in terms of first down pass attempts. So throw a little bit more on first down, be a little less predictable. I think that would help their offense overall.
And I can definitely see that coming, Trenni, because when you look at the arc of the first 9 games, not going to go through all of them, but the first week they were on the road against a blitz-heavy team. They wanted to try and neutralize it. They didn't trust their offensive line to protect.
College game, and in college, Mac Jones was very proficient at running RPOs. For whatever reason, guys, I feel like this is something we've been talking about since the first week of the season. Why haven't we seen more play action? Why haven't we seen more RPOs? Running more RPOs, Phil, what would that do for the Patriots offense?
Well, I think number 1, it would just make Mac Jones a lot more comfortable. I think it takes some of the stress off your offensive line, too, on those types of throws, those RPO throws. If you do elect the pass option portion of the RPO, you're really not asking your offensive line to pass protect. They're run blocking on those plays. So it takes something off of their shoulders, too. They're able to move forward as opposed to dropping back, which they generally don't like to do. So maybe increase the RPOs, Tom. But then the other part of that, going the college route, would be to go more no huddle. They're really in the middle of the league in terms of how often they use the no huddle, but they're pretty efficient. They average over 8 yards per attempt when they go no huddle. And again, important for the offensive line, they haven't been sacked when they've gone with the no huddle. So that to me would be a reason why you go that route.
I think what's interesting too is how well all 3 of these points mesh together, whether it's get into the kind of runs that you like and are successful at, straight ahead stuff, which is the gap stuff usually, throw more frequently on first down, which you allow yourself to have the option of doing that, as you were saying, Trenni, when you're sitting there with the ball in the running back's belly and deciding whether to give it to him or pull it back, and then the RPOs. All of it threads well together. Having seen the Jets just 2 weeks ago or 2 games ago, I think it'll be interesting to see how quickly they have pivoted for whatever their plans are for the last 8 games here.
Tom, you think one of the issues with the offense is simply timing and that it's a coordination problem. Now, I'm assuming when you say coordination, it's not like me not having great hand-eye coordination. I'm assuming it means like coordinating what's happening on the field.
Right. And I'd credit Dan Orlovsky from ESPN, who did an excellent job breaking it down today. But it's something that our boss, Kevin Miller, has been asking me about. Does Mac seem sped up? And that coordination in when he is finishing his drop and who is available to throw to has seemingly been an issue all year. Phil, I've looked at games and thought, who's running shallow for him? Who's available when he gets to the end of his drop and is looking for someone? And so often it is pitter-pat, scuffle, scurry around, and then make a mistake.
Which is obviously something that I would think you would want to get cleaned up at a time like your bye week. The question is that enough time to get that sort of thing cleaned up? And I think the question is, too, and it's fair, is, okay, well, is it a chicken or the egg problem? Is it the design of the offense? Is it the coordination of the offense? Is it the quarterback? Is maybe the quarterback's drops not being as deep as they should be because he's nervous, because of the offensive line, because of the protection, maybe because he doesn't trust the system? So there could be issues on both ends of that, Trenni.
A lot of issues. We'll see if they can fix them this week against a tough Jets defense.